Hello, I welcome you to the Teaching Methodology Masterclass. Our topic for today is teaching methods. Teaching methods or methods of teaching. I am Sir.Hendrix. We are going to talk about only two things today. Now, we will look at the teaching approaches, teaching methods. Now, before we talk about the teaching approaches and methods, it is very important that we understand what an approach is, what a method is, what a strategy is, and what a technique is. Now, an approach is a set of theories or explanations, principles of how to go about teaching. Method is the procedure of teaching. Strategy is what you are about to do in order to achieve the lesson. While a technique is something that you use at an event when teaching and it is necessary to achieve a particular goal. So we say the approach carries in the methods. Methods carries in strategies. Strategies carries in techniques. So let us look at the first approach, which is teacher-centered approach. Now, there are two types of approaches. There is teacher-centered approach and student-centered approach. So, teacher-centered approach, learning is when, and it is taken to its most extreme interpretation. Teachers are the main authority figure in a teacher-centered instruction model. Students are viewed as tabula rasa or empty vessels who passively receive knowledge from their teachers through lectures and direct instruction, with an end goal of positive result from testing and assessment. In this style, teaching and assessment are viewed as two separate entities. Students' learning is measured through objectively scored tests and assignments. So in the teacher-centered approach, that's where we have a teacher who is viewed as the disseminator of information, the know-it-all. Let us look at the other approach, which is student-centered approach. Now, while teachers are still an authority in figure in student-centered teaching model, teachers and students play an equal or equally active role in the learning process when we are talking about student-centered approach. Now, the teacher's primary role is to coach and facilitate student learning and overall comprehension of material, and to measure student learning through both formal and informal forms of assessment. We'll look at this, like group projects, student portfolios, and class participation. In the student-centered classroom, teaching and assessment are connected because student learning is continuously measured by teacher instruction. So in here, everything is based on the student. For example, one of the examples you can give in student-centered approach is the group work, whole class discussion. You can also give like projects. Those are teaching approaches. Now let us look at the teaching method. Teaching methods. Now, the term teaching method refers to the general principles, pedagogy, and management strategies used for classroom instruction. Now, there are certain things that depends your choice of the method. So, you may have your own educational philosophy that will depend the method that you are going to use. The class demography, meaning the size of the class. Is it a big class? Is it a class with boys and girls, or a class with only girls or boys? You need to look at that. Subject area, also the subject area that you are teaching, you should consider. Also the school mission statement. So those are the factors you need to consider when coming up with the method to use. Now, let us begin looking at the teaching methodologies or methods one by one. Number one, lecture-based learning or teacher exposition. This is a traditional way to structure classroom learning. Teachers in this situation, teachers lead a lesson by presenting on, showing visuals of, and modeling examples of topic. While a teacher is presenting, students can listen, watch, take an helpful approach. Teachers may alter it for different learning environment. Here are some ways that teachers ensure that the success of lecture-based learning. Number one, what you can do is keeping the lessons brief. And the goodness about this method is that it is always brief because the teacher is the one who is talking. The other method you can use is allow time for questions. After your exposition, you need to allow the students to ask you questions. The other technique you can use is you need to create instructional videos. Many teachers use a flipped classroom approach where they encourage students to watch lectures or instruction videos at home and complete the assignments in class. This can be a great opportunity to let students work at their own pace, as they can see videos again by rewinding and replaying them. This is the approach that I'm using, where you have the notes which I'm sending you, and also the videos which you can replay at your own time. You can also use visual cues. Whether in or outside of the academic environment, using visual cues in presentations such as icons, images, and videos can be a great way to keep your audiences interested in the content. So make sure that you use the visual cues. Ensure that you use the visual cues. The other way you can do is promote handwritten. You need to promote handwritten notes. For those students who are able, handwriting notes on paper can be a superb way to stay focused during lectures. It can also help people to recall information well and strengthen their spelling and writing skills. So you can encourage your students to be taking notes. Now there's a difference between taking notes and making notes. When taking notes is making notes from the oral source, while making notes is writing notes from written or printed source. Let us look at another approach, especially this is emphasized in 21st century where we are using technology-based learning. Now, teachers can use in the classroom, can use technology in the classroom to make teaching process more efficient and aid in student learning, like I am doing. You are using a phone, I am using a computer, and also the phone to communicate to you. We are using the internet also to communicate. So students can use devices like computers and tablets, even phones, to read the material. If you can see, at the end of the day, I will send the notes, which is the notes that are in the PDF. You can also use cloud computing capabilities and make it possible for students to access documents or other resources while at school or at home. There you are just in the comfort of your home, but you are learning. Visual classrooms using video conferencing software can be a great way to provide education remotely. We can learn on WhatsApp, we can video, we can learn on Zoom video, we can also learn on Microsoft Meeting, Micro Meeting. We can look. There are many platforms that we can use so that we can video conference. However, I decided to use this approach because I realized that not every student is available at a specific time. So I decided to be making videos like this so that at your own time you get to read and also watch the video. This can be especially helpful for students with disabilities who may have difficulties focusing in a physical classroom. For example, those students who have got what is called hyperactive behavior. This can help them because at their own time, when they are free, when they have concentration psyche at high, they can go through the video. Yes. The other technique we can use is group discussion. Now, group discussion begins from whole class discussion and also a group discussion. Then we have another discussion which is called pair. So you can use depending on the nature of the topic and the nature of the tasks that you are about to give the students. So you need segmenting students into groups is a great way to teach them skills in collaboration. While in their teams, they can discuss subjects and learn about the perspective of others. It is important to encourage both class participation and listening skills so that students can gain these abilities for the future. Teachers can assign group presentations so students can convey information to the rest of the class, ask and answer questions, and interact with each other. There are some students we call social students who learn best by interacting with others. So this can be effective to them. This can also be effective to the students who are shy. So the students who are shy will learn how to work and learn from each other. Then you need also to give them the task to present. This will help them know presentation skills. The other method we can use is inquiry-based teaching or learning. Inquiry-based learning promotes the idea of learning by investigation, where students can complete projects, ask questions, and find answers by themselves. While teachers act as resources in these times, the goal is for students to solve problems and discover information on their own. Upon learning about concepts, they can explain and present the concepts in their own words to further enforce them in their memories. Then, students can advance to higher levels at their own pace. This is a way for students to perform an active role in the learning process. So, inquiry-based learning, this is where you assign For example, in geography, there is what is called at grade 12. There is a field project where students are assigned to do some projects. So even you, as you are training students, make sure that you use this approach for your students. The other approach that you can use is kinesthetic learning. Now, kinesthetic learning, this is a powerful learning or method that you can use. Kinesthetic learning is the notion of learning through movement. Teachers can move around the classroom and use hand gestures while they present to engage students visually and kinesthetically. They can also encourage students to perform physical activities where they can move around and use their creativity. Here are some of the ideas that you can use in kinesthetic. Now, kinesthetic, this is the approach where there is students' involvement. All the senses, the 5 senses, the tasting, the sight, the hearing, smelling, all these are used when learning. So, for example, drawing, you can use this method by telling students to draw. For example, in a class, you need to tell the students by themselves to draw the important diagrams. Also, acting, you can tell students to play their to do sketches or role playing in theatrical performance. The other way is building. You can building structures with blocks, toys, or other materials can help students. So, if you are teaching, for example, you are teaching computers or you are teaching computer hardware, you need to make sure that the students are involved as they are dismantling the computer and also assembling. You need, for example, if you want to tell them this is a hard drive, let them touch the hard drive and they won't forget. Playing is also another important technique that you can use under kinesthetic. Playing, a traditional form of kinesthetic learning, is playing in sports, and many schools have gym classes. So playing is also an important way. This can also lead us to another method, which is game-based learning. Game-based learning. Now, game-based learning is where you gamify your content. Make sure that you make your lesson into a game, and students make it or find it exciting to learn. Let's look at the tips for using teaching methods. What are those tips that you need to use when coming up with the teaching methods? Number 1, you need to consult more advanced professionals. You need to consult those who have taught that topic, who have taught for many years. You need to consult them. Also, gain feedback from students. Each time you use a particular method, you need to gain feedback from students. You need to gain feedback from students and parents who are interested in the learning or activities and process of your students. The other one is be adaptable. Do not be monotonous, using only one kind of method. Vary the teaching method, and this is what makes a good trainer or a teacher. You need also to create a routine. The other way you can use is teach the same topic in 3 different ways. This will help you cater or meet the learners in their various points of learning needs. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Ensure that you watch this video again for you to understand. Ensure also that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.